So let's talk about how to create your own money tree. Let me close this down so I have some more space. And let's get into it. The process is extremely simple. The way that you create your own money tree is you start with something that you love. Said that lots of time. Then you find out, so step one, figure out what you love. Clarity of your energy, bigger, more important than anything and everything else in your business. Okay? So start with something you love. Next, step two, find out what niche your passion speaks to. So if you love dancing, for instance, and that's what you love, who are the people that love dancing too? What type of dancers are they? Are they river dance dancers? Are they, ballroom dancers? Are they salsa dancers? Figure out specifically what niche your passion speaks to. Step two. Third, the reason why you have to figure out what niche your passion speaks to is because you have to find out where they hang out. So let me show you, for instance, my niche is home business entrepreneurs online. Now, the reason why I know how to find home business entrepreneurs online is because I am one, and so I hang out in the same places that they do. So one of the places that I would go to hang out to see where people in my niche are having a conversation might be this website right here, the Warrior Forum. So you might look for either a series of blogs where people are having tons of conversations, or forums like the Warrior Forum, or another site. My friend Mike Dillard's Better Networker, specific to my niche. But I guarantee you, even if you love iguanas, there's an iguana forum somewhere out there where you can figure out what problem iguana lovers have. And if they're all rabidly talking about iguanas all day, like if we look here at the Warrior Forum, guys, 621 people right now are viewing the main discussion. That's a lot of people at just a random time of the day to be in here, to be in here, to be in here, to be in here. Probably a good niche, right? The Better Networker. Again, another place. You come here and you look at the latest discussions. You come back 5 minutes later, you're going to see even more discussions. These things are going to be different. They're going to all move around. Why? Because people are hanging out there all day, every day. And just as a side note, Mike's a super smart person. Mike Dillard's a super smart person for putting this community together, because what better to have as an asset in your business than literally the place where the most rabid people in your business hang out and have discussions all day long. Pretty cool little asset to have. So, but from our standpoint, find out where they hang out and hang out there too. Study them closely, okay? Find out where they hang out, study them closely. What problems do they have? What problems continue to come up? Now, you may say, Daegan, for instance, I get this question all the time, kind of like what Harold said earlier. How do I compete with the big guys? Or wasn't a product like that already created? Because in our niche of the home business world, right, how to help people get started building their business based on their passion, there are basically three things you got to do. Get leads, build relationships with those leads, and sell stuff. Well, what if people have already created products about those three things? They have. You just choose your biggest problem, the biggest thing that you see out there that people are complaining about, and you be the first to help overcome that problem. So here's the key. Now, if you're sitting here with me today right now and you're listening in and you're saying, well, Daegan, I'm not an expert. I can't solve these problems. Guess what? Neither was I, and neither was any expert that is an expert today. You first define who it is that you want to speak to, what problems you want to help them solve, and then first you go and solve them for yourself. So before I could say, here's how to recruit a ton of people without picking up the phone, I had to go and do it. I had to learn how to do it, and then I had to do it. So do you. That's part of the game. So it doesn't matter if you're good at it yet. Do it. Figure out what it is you want to do, and then go do it. Solve it for yourself, and then say, hey, I figured this out. I figured this out, saltwater, aquarium enthusiast fans. There's a new way that you can keep your saltwater tank clean twice as long, and it'll be one half as expensive. I was, banging my head against the wall trying to figure out how I was going to pay all these super high saltwater aquarium bills. But now that I figured out this secret, man, I've got more money to buy even more beautiful fish and show off to my friends and family. And it's simple. Buy my thing and I'll share it with you too. Okay? So we're not at the part where we're saying buy the stuff. But what I want you to do next, after you study them, you figure out their problem, a problem. I think we've been through that clearly enough. There are no objections. There's no hurdle you could throw at me right now where you could say, but Daegan, but this about me. Nah, I'm not having it. No. Whatever it is that you want to focus on, that you're passionate about, if you're not good at it, get good at it first, and then you get started. That's it. That's as simple as it is. Because otherwise you're going to sit there, and in your head you're going to be like, well, but I'm not as good as, or, but they're so good, and I'm just getting started. Of course, we're all just getting started at a certain point. Get started, get results, share results. Get started, find problem, overcome problem, solve it, share solution. Simple, okay? So create a product that solves one of their biggest problems. Now, we're going to be talking about this is the foundational part of your money tree, your front-end product. So for instance, my front-end product in my business is called the Maximum Leverage Inner Circle. What is it? It's like I said, it's an online university, transparently showing exactly what I'm doing in my business to get results. Every day, all day, sharing cool stuff. That's what I love to do. That's what I do. That's my front-end product. And so when you create your front-end product, I'm not saying create the type of solution that I have now. The reason is I'm pretty good at what I do these days. And so right now, I can pretty much go through any subject matter and identify how to do something better when it comes to direct response marketing in my small little world of the home business world, online. You can't do that at the beginning. You can do that later. At the beginning, your first front-end product should be something that is solution-based, gives a specific solution to a specific problem that your future customers want solved. Best, brownie points, if there are things in that product, step-by-step processes, systems, that people can implement pretty much immediately for immediate results on some level. Because you also want product consumption. You want people to go to your product and say, wow, I think I can do this, and then go and do it, because that's when they'll have value from you. So in other words, if you were to solve the problem for someone, let's say, that's got a horrible golf swing, you wouldn't just tell a story and say, the reason your golf swing's bad is because, you've got really bad posture. You got to fix your posture, and then you could hit the ball far like me. No, you'd say to improve your posture, step one, you do this exercise. Step two is do this. Before you swing, do this. You break it down so people can get started immediately. And then when they start having those first small successes, you've just enlightened a little excitement in them. You've given true value. The reason that Maximum Leverage does well for me and my tribe, my folks, my family, is because I literally just show, here's the thing. Here's the result of the thing. When you can do that in your business, you create a huge amount of transparency, huge amount of trust. When you get started, pick one specific problem and solve it through steps. Okay? That people can implement immediately. That's all. Don't overcomplicate it. Do not overcomplicate it. Now, the first thing that you do is you create the product first. You don't go out and start getting leads for the product. In my opinion, for us human brain people, I think if you spend the time first finding a problem, creating a solution for the problem, creating a lead capture page. Remember I showed you that Maximum Leverage lead capture page. And it wasn't here, but we'll find it. Far easier for me to create the right words that create curiosity on a lead capture page like this after the solution's been created. A lot of copywriters, a lot of marketers will say, create your offer first. Now, I think that's cool. That works. I mean, there are definitely good reasons to do it that way. But I think for most of us pragmatically, it's easier, especially if we're working within a niche that we love, to create the solution to the problem. And then the solution to the problem is going to probably do well because we had the problem or we're very intently focused on that passion, that subject matter. So we probably are going to pretty closely put something together that's going to transmit value to people. And then it's easy to say, hey, opt in here and I'll give you my free thing that's going to help you do this. Because it's already in there, okay? So it's one of those things that people have differing opinions on, but for me, I've found that it's easier for me to create the thing and then go and create the marketing, but if I'm in a niche that I know. Now, so let's keep it that simple. Just do that. Create the thing, then create a simple little page like this that says free, how to get result, how to overcome problem. Keep it simple. Copy is not magic. Okay? Now, at the very beginning, when you've created the solution and you're getting traffic and you've created a lead capture page, the very beginning, go back to the exact same places where you were studying the rabid fans of your passion. So in other words, articles, places where you can submit articles, videos, YouTube, all that sort of stuff. Create videos and tell people at the end of the video to go get your free thing. Forums, hang out in forums in your signature file. At the bottom, say, hey, here's where you can get this free thing. Now, if you're adventurous and you've got a budget, by all means, go out and use paid media. Paid media is how your business is going to expand. We'll get to that. But at first, since we're just creating the solution to the problem, we've got nothing invested except for time and our passion. What you want to do is you want to give the product away first. Give it away. Lead capture page, opt in, I'll give you this thing for free. Why? Because if you give it away for free, it's going to be far easier to ask for feedback. What if you give the product away to 20 people for free? Not a ton. You could do that in a couple days in a couple forums. Hey, I've got a great new product. I'd like to give it to you for free. Then you go back to those people and you say, hey, what did you like and what didn't you like about this? Then you go back and you make that product better. And then you go back to those same people and you say, is it better now? And they say, yes, it's great. Good. Then could I get your feedback? Could you share what going through this better version of the product is like? Now you've got testimonials. The best way to convert the non-believer, in other words, get someone to believe that your solution can help them, it's not just magic, is to have a ton of other people come back and say, wow, this thing is great. Easier to do that when you give it away free at first, okay? So we're trying to create leverage for you, in other words. Now, so in other words, if you were to go to YouTube and you were to look at my YouTube page here, you would see that I live by this philosophy pretty much to the fullest. If we go to my channel, and I'm far from done because you can't help people unless you can convert them into a believer from a non-believer. And so, if we're looking here at my Google page, my YouTube page, excuse me, you're going to see, 113 pretty much testimonials, right? People saying in one way, shape, or form that, this thing is really cool. That's pretty overwhelming proof that it might be able to help the person that hasn't got involved yet. Now, these pieces of feedback were gotten in lots of different ways, but at the very beginning, like for instance, Harold, I just answered your question. The way that Harold, and I think everyone should go and watch this particular video, because the way that I got Harold to transmit so emotionally what he said, and I think it's one of my favorite pieces of feedback, Harold, I thank you for it, was we talked about his business and what he needed help on first. And I said, Harold, could you just share what you thought of what you've got in a short video? Sure. The first go around though, he's a little bit nervous. I went back and I said, Harold, it's okay, but you sound nervous, man. Just let go. Just be yourself. Remember, this is what you need to do. And so, engaging and helping naturally creates a reciprocation where people say, hey, no problem. I'll tell you that your thing is cool. That's how you convert the non-believers. Now, that's a little bit tangential, but I wanted to make sure that you understand that process. Give it away. Ask for feedback. Help on a personal one-to-one level. Say, hey, if you want to, you can give me a call tomorrow, and I'll help you through that problem. At the end of the conversation, say, I hope that really helped you. Would you mind giving me some feedback? And more often than not, people are going to say yes because you've already helped, and you didn't ask for anything for it. That's how you get people to kind of help you spread the word. So the final thing, well, all right, let me go through the final thing, then we're going to stop for a second and make sure everyone's got this so far. The next thing that you do, the final thing before you're in business full stream, is now that you've got the good product, you've improved it, you got some feedback, you go and you create the sales page or video. And we're going to talk about how to create your product. We're going to talk about how to create your irresistible offer, your sales page or video, and we're going to talk about a few things in between. But for your first project, I think it's easier to do it this way as opposed to what, experts would say, which is create the marketing first. Hard to create marketing first if you're not a marketer yet, right? Easier to create a product, which is content, and then go by the feedback of what people have said and say, well, I encountered these problems, so did a lot of other people, and you may be just like me and us and them. If you have this problem, this problem, and this problem, I've got the solution for you. And you know it's a solution. You know it's a good solution because you took the time to make it better. Okay, guys, so let me stop and make sure that you guys got that basic process. I'm going to walk through it real quick one last time before we move on. How to create your money tree. Start with something you love. Find out what niche that passion speaks to. Then find out where they hang out. Study them closely. Pay close attention to their problems. Create a product that solves one of their biggest problems. Create a lead capture page. Get traffic to the lead capture page. Give the product away for free. Make the product better. Get feedback, endorsements, convert the non-believers. Create your sales page or video. Now you've got your front-end product. Remember that front-end product, like simple solution to a simple problem that's easily and instantly actionable. The more actionable your solution can be, the better. So you guys following along? Give me a hoorah, hoorah if you're following along with me. Sweet. Hoorah, hoorah. All righty. Let's keep rocking. See, we have all these anarchists here that aren't saying hoorah. They're like, yeah, buddy. You got to be different, huh? I'm just teasing. All right, let's keep rocking. Okay, guys. Now we're going to get real. We're going to get real for a couple seconds here. Now, you can't get on the internet business you can't start an internet business unless you have some basic skill sets. Like, a lot of people just want to get started and like, well, yeah, but how do I create a page? Like, there's some things you should just overcome. Like, you kind of need to learn how to read before you can follow written instructions, right? So when you're in an online business, there are things that you just need to know how to do. And I'm not going to say, I think it's best if you just learn these things. That's how I'm going to say it. There's certain skills or certain things you need. You need to have the ability to create web pages yourself. Spend some time studying basic HTML. Go to YouTube. There is a quadzillion movies or, 10-minute videos on creating web pages. Basic HTML stuff. Nothing complicated. But get yourself over that hurdle, because otherwise it's going to hold you back forever, and it's a simple hurdle to get over. Here's why I don't agree with what some of the experts will say, which is, Oh, just outsource that stuff. Yeah, outsource a good degree of it. No problem. Once you're in the game and you know, and you can pay somebody and you know someone that you can trust to do some of this stuff for you. But when your business is just starting, you're going to need to make little tweaks yourself, and you're going to need to make little tweaks, and it's going to be a lot faster if you can just do them yourself. Like, I don't like having to say, hey, guy, can you go and change this word from 1 to 2, and then waiting 24 hours to see that change when you can just do it yourself. Get over these basic things. It's just really important. Like, I mean, people will buy and buy and buy and buy and buy the next coolest gadget to do the simplest of things, when all you have to do is learn how to do the simple thing. Just learn how to create web pages. Get Dreamweaver. So what do you need to know to create web pages? You need hosting. GVO is an opportunity, but it's hosting as an opportunity, so that's an income stream. Or you can go to HostGator. There's just a ton of different good hosts out there. So you need hosting. This is something you need. You need a domain name. Go to GoDaddy or GVO. That's where you go. You need an HTML editor so you can create and upload these pages. InView is a free version. Is a free software you can use. Dreamweaver is the HTML editor that I use in my business. Totally simple to use. Because of time, I can't go through and show you how to do these simple things right now. I want to rock through and I want to make sure that we get through all of this. But believe me, these are hurdles. You don't have to be a genius to get over these things, but you got to get over them if you want to be serious about your business. Like, I just, you know, I want to make $1 million online, but I don't know how to create a simple web page. Kind of, I don't know. It's weird to me. Get this stuff handled. FTP client. So, in other words, the tool you use to take the page you make, the HTML page you make, in your HTML editor, like InView or Dreamweaver, and upload it to your website hosting. That's what an FTP client is. You take the little file, you drag it into the FTP client, into your web hosting space, and like magic, what was once on your computer is now live across the internet. How cool is it when you can create an irresistible offer in an afternoon and then create the web page, post it out there on the internet, and send out a quick email, and a couple minutes later you have sales. You have profit. Why? Because you got over the little stuff. You got over the small hurdles. So you're going to need also to learn the ability to communicate via email, okay? Communicate via email. If we go into any of my autoresponders, we'll go into my newest one since we're already kind of here. Every day I wake up, I pull out a little program called Notepad, or actually, excuse me, on my PC I'd pull out Notepad. Every day here on my Mac, I pull out TextMate, and I go, how to blah, 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 blah. Today I was blah, 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 and blah, blah. And so I think you should try my thing. Every day, in a different format, every day is what I do. Put a little arrow like that, and then it's a link that goes somewhere where they can see an offer, and it's a form of communication. You have to get comfortable and acquire the ability to be yourself and just communicate as if you're communicating to a friend via email. And of course, I didn't spell, those aren't real words, of course, but you got to be able to do that stuff. Like, let me go in here. This is all the messy stuff that was on my desktop before we got started. And I'm pretty sure, especially if I go to this little folder, so while I'm pulling this up, guys, here's the reason why I'm going through all this. The reason that I'm going through all this is because I want you guys to really see that the things that create your business, you do. Like, I'm doing these things, right? Let's see which email we want to pull up here. So this is an email that's going out tomorrow morning. I wrote a couple days, well, I wrote yesterday so I could do this webinar with you guys tonight. Every day I sit down and I write some stuff out and I share some value. You got to be able to do that. I mean, it's not hard. That's exactly how I do it. You can do it too. So in order to do that, you need a tool like an autoresponder. You need a basic text editing program like TextMate or Notepad on your PC. Autoresponder doesn't matter. Aweber or GetResponse, just choose one. They work, okay? You got to know how to use them. Send broadcasts, set up autoresponders. You got to just figure it out. The instructions are in there. They're simple to use. The final thing that you got to have if you want to have a business online is you got to have a way to collect money, right? So in the short term, it's okay, but I still believe somewhat risky to use something like PayPal. You can use PayPal, but I guarantee eventually PayPal is going to freeze your account and say, you can't have your money for 6 months. I'd suggest against it. If you're going to be serious about your business, just go out and get a merchant account. It's not hard. It's just paperwork. If you've ever, like, bought a car or, you know, filled out a renter application or got a home and a mortgage, far simpler than all that stuff. You just go over to powerpay.biz or chargetoday.com or net, I can't remember. But PowerPay, just do a Google search for PowerPay, and you'll find it, and get yourself a merchant account after you have your first product, because they're going to want to see your stuff. They're going to say, what's your product? What are you selling? And you say, here it is. Here's my sales page. So get yourself a merchant account. You can start out with PayPal, but these are just the basics, guys. You got to have these. You got to be able to create web pages. You got to be able to communicate via email. You got to be able to collect money. These are things that you must personally be able to do if you want to really play, if you want to create $1 million business. And they're not hard. Just get over it. Whatever little fear, just jump in, handle them, and now you're moving a lot faster than everyone else. So let's talk about how to create your first product and what it really means. So my first product was a product called MLM Success, which will be found on the next page, the hard way. I sat down before work for 2 hours from like 5 till 7 a.m. every day for about 3 weeks, and I just wrote. And then when I got home, I do the same thing, and I wrote out these books. Now, this product's like 100 pages, the Net MLM Profits one, the Internet MLM Success product. My very first product is now close to 200 pages. But these days, guys, you don't need to do that. It's way too hard. The best thing to do is to do it fast. Why? Speed is important. You want to build momentum internally. It's exciting when you know you already have your first product created and you can start to go get feedback. So the way you do that is you do it with video. There are 2 simple ways that you can create your first product with video. Just checking on our video right now. Number 1, you can do what we're doing right now. You can set up a webinar, hit record, and record it. Or you can use a program like Camtasia. So let's go to Google and let's look for Camtasia. On Mac, I use a program called ScreenFlow. So if you look for Camtasia, you'll find it by just doing a quick Google search. And what it is just screen capturing software. I hit record and it records everything I do, right? So you get yourself a copy of Camtasia, or if you're on a Mac, ScreenFlow or Camtasia, because Camtasia now has a Mac version. You can even, the cool thing about them is they let you do a 30-day trial for free, which is pretty sweet. So you could have your first product created in a couple hours just by recording a webinar, and you could be out there selling it before you even pay for Camtasia. So you could do that totally free. So you probably heard of it, but I just want to, important, guys, to use speed. No need to make a big, long book. I don't like to write anymore. I don't even write well. Like, I typos all over the place, but I do it. When it comes to email communication, when it comes to products, no need. Video's better. People like it more. Use video. So do a webinar, invite people, record it, and say, hey, let's do something. I want to teach you something cool. Now, if your passion is something like golf, maybe you get a little flip video and you have a friend come with you out to the golf course and you say, hey, I want to show people how to improve their swing. Could you videotape this for me? They'll say, sure, this will be fun. And so you have them videotape the live action stuff. Or if you don't want to do a meeting, you can just use Camtasia and screen capture the steps to help people overcome. Let me reiterate this, guys. When it comes to creating a product, you don't have to be some Hercules. You don't have to be some big guru. You don't have to solve anything meteoric. In our niche, if you said to a person, here's how you can generate 10 leads a day for free, and you turn that into an irresistible offer, you'd be able to sell it all day long. 10 leads a day is easy, right? So the problem doesn't have to be huge in order for you to start a viable business. So don't think you have to be able to say, hey, I get 37 checks every month, or look at my big old merchant account. Helps. And when you have that stuff, sure, throw it in, but start small. I couldn't say stuff until I did it. So what I said at the beginning when I created my first products is different from what I say now, because now I have more cool stuff that I can say, and that grows as you grow. So start with where you are and add to it as you get better. But make it video because it's easier. People dig it more. It's way fast. It's way easy. And we just like to watch. So for your front end, the product should be priced somewhere between $9.95 and $97. Okay? So what you want to, the reason why is this is a front end, meaning the main purpose of the product is to acquire customers, not make a ton of profit. So when you're testing for conversions on your front-end product, as long as you're breaking even, it is a better idea to create a product that gets you more customers than a product that gets you more immediate profit. Your business will grow faster, in other words, if you cut out front-end profit as an expense to get more customers. Because in a money tree style business where you're not just throwing stuff at the wall, you're choosing a passion. That's the seed where your business grows from. And you're going through these steps that we're talking about right now. And you offer up your first solution. That first solution is about creating value, trust in your customer. And so when pricing it, $9.95 to $97, break even or better. Most customers, though, is the goal. Goal, maximum customer acquisition, not immediate profit, okay? Here's why. Your money tree, multiple streams of income on the back end. So when you have customers that now trust you, like my friend who sold 200,000 copies of a book and then turned that into a downline of 130,000 people, he got customers on the front end and then introduced people to his opportunity on the back end. The back end is where you make your money. More customers, more back end profit potential. So the next question is, after you create your product, how do you create your sales letter or video? I think sales videos are faster, easier than sales letters. It takes me a couple weeks to create a sales letter, a couple hours to create a sales video. So sales video and sales letter, I think, is better. But take it in a step. If it's easier for you to write, I mean, I wrote sales letters before I started doing sales videos. Here's how you create them. I get asked all the time, and one of my biggest, my biggest focus points over the last couple of years was like, how do I really master being a great copywriter, being able to sell persuasively? And you know what I found out? I bought tons of products. I got some of them here. I still read that stuff. I love the insights. But you know what? You're pretty good to go if you focus on, before you write even one word of copy, creating an irresistible offer. So if it's all about, how can I structure this thing that I'm going to be giving to people so that the most people get it? And it's just completely insane for them to say no. If you can think about that and turn your product into that before you write one word of copy, the copy is easy. So let me show you guys an example of one thing I'm working on right now. I'm converting my, and this also goes into the point of sales videos over sales letters. How do you do them? I'm re-releasing it. It's not available now as to be available online again. And this is how you put together a sales video. You just write up some keynotes or PowerPoints if you're on a PC. This took me about an hour and a half to do. It's about 113 of these so far. And you can see there are parts I haven't finished. The close I haven't done yet. And this part where I actually add in the different bonuses. So let me give you So on the answer of how do you create a sales video, you do this. You create a series of keynotes, then you click play, and then you read them. 4 complete business building step-by-step tutorials for the price of 1. But I must warn you, I may pull this irresistible opportunity from the net at any time. It's important you act now. Close.